again. Scout the shell, salvage the ships. That is it. Atriox was clear.
I'll look around. And if we find prizes to bring back... How could that go wrong?
Voridus, listen. You fail him one more time, trying to prove yourself, and I will not be able to save you. And it will be both our skulls beneath his mace.
Relax, brother. You worry too much.
Pavium, we are ready to move to High Charity. My men are impatient for glory.
Put a leash on them, Voridus. The terrain here is unsuitable for our power extractors. I am still working on a solution, and your men would do well to remember that whatever we find here belongs to Atriox.
This war has tamed you, brother. Where is your Jirulhane lust for adventure? That relic is ripe for plunder.
This war has taught me, Voridus. Stay your hand. Once we reach High Charity, we need to move quickly to avoid the wrath of the sentinels defending it.
Yes, yes. I am well aware of what we face here. Hurry your preparations, old one. I already have troops on the ground. Voridus out.
Hello everybody and welcome to the first mission of my Halo Wars 2 Legendary Walkthrough Guide for Awakening the Nightmare. Now this is going to be the first mission, What Could Go Wrong, and we're going to be spending a good portion of this, of the start just trying to get to our base, which is going to be pretty far away actually. It's in the bottom right there is, like large little valley area. But we're going to grab some of these resources up here, that's why you see clicking right here. And we got ourselves an early cutscene coming up in a few moments, so we're just going to see them engaging the sentinels, our banished friends here. But we're going to go grab these resources, as I said, bypassing that initial fight, and then in a few moments we will get that cutscene. So I will see you guys on the other side of it.
Whoa! That's a lot of sentinels!
Pavium, our air forces are engaging sentinels near High Charity.
Alright, now that we're back from that cutscene, we're going to send our Reavers up and keep our grunts basically near the start of the light bridge. Going to send the Reavers over by using their special ability, which will let them clear the chasm. And then they're just going to turn on the light bridge. Really, come on. Just got to bring one of them over. The other one can sit there and get started firing on the barricade right here. So you're going to send all your forces. It's going to be a little bit of time. You're going to need to wait for that locust to actually do some real damage to this barricade. But in reality, there's no way that we can go around this. You just kind of have to sit and take some of this time to destroy this barricade. But while we wait for this, I do want to basically go over the skulls. The only ones that we have on our Grunt birthday party, as well as I Would Have Been Your Daddy. The other ones are basically off, so you won't see any other skulls on, especially the score modifiers. This is just a straight up legendary run. Alright, but now that we have broken through that barricade, we're going to go send our forces up to go take the power out of this little supply cache. There's going to be 10 of these around the map. This is the only bonus objective that I was not able to complete on this one because a good portion of it is just trying to find where these things are. So it's, but I basically kind of ran out of time. I found all 10, but unfortunately wasn't able to move and get that one. But here we have the first campaign log here down this left fork. So you're gonna go down here, and then also around this area is going to be a little bit of power, so pick up those power supplies. And once we get the campaign log as well as those resources, this is going to be the first like major fight. If you just sit here and stand still, you'll probably lose your entire force, which is going to be really awful considering that we need everybody to repel the sentinels at our base. So you're going to send all your forces as soon as you trigger the sequence. Since all your forces can still fire on the move and the sentinels need to stop to fire at you, you can use that to your advantage. So what you're going to do is you're just going to micro backwards using the Reaver's range as well as the Locust to just stay just out of range of the Sentinels. So once you get down to like one Sentinel, feel free to push back up. We don't want to micro too hard. That way we get super far away because we still want to beat par time on this mission. So just back up a little bit, get down to one, and then push up. It should be just a few more Sentinels. Now as soon as they aggro, fall back. And then if you want to, these are the final two, so you can kind of just bypass them if you want. And there you go. Everybody is still alive. Everybody's pretty healthy except for that one grunt squad. And then we're going to go grab the supplies out of this little cache as well. After we destroy this supply cache, we will get the Banished base and got ourselves a small little cutscene showing you the havoc that's going on around that base. So let's go grab these supplies, and then that'll be it for that first primary objective, and then I will see you guys on the other side of this cutscene.
Enemy spotted. The sentinels are attacking our base.
Voridus, the orbital designator shows they're coming from a nearby launching bay.
Fear not, Pavium. One of my new toys should handle them. Fire a disruption emitter at the launching bay. Its EMP field will stun those sentinels.
Alright, so this is actually kind of annoying to start out. The very first thing you're going to do is send a disruption emitter, and then you're going to build a couple turrets. Make sure that you upgrade Atriox's bulwark and get that as soon as you possibly can, keeping all your forces healed up. You're going to upgrade your power generator as well as your augmented harvester, upgrade that one, and then you're going to immediately get your resources going as well as your defenses. Because we need to make sure that this base, it's the only base that you get pretty much other than the mini bases throughout the mission, throughout this entire mission. So you want to make sure that you're fortified because you are sitting sandwiched in between two sentinel like generators or whatever you want to call it. And we want to make sure that when we're away from our base, which is going to happen, we want to make sure that we have the forces, we have the defenses that our forces, make sure our defenses can repel the enemy sentinels, as well as like sometimes like you could just bring the human, like the UNSC enemies that you fight here in the bottom right side of the map. You could send them up towards your base as well. Now notice you want to get that Forerunner power tower as soon as you possibly can. That makes it towards that you can get your Citadel upgrade, I believe, or level 2 base. I'm gonna get ourselves some augmented harvesters, get that income going even more, collect these resources, and we're gonna immediately send all of our forces, and I mean literally all of our forces down here to the bottom. And as soon as you get within range of that, you're gonna toss out another disruption emitter. That way you can stun all the Forerunner defenses. The only things that you should be fighting are basically things with outside of the radius of the disruption emitter, which kind of is like the disruption bomb. Now, you're going to keep all your forces pretty much inside of the garrison while you're fighting these sentinels. Now, you don't really have a lot, so it's going to be pretty... It's still going to be really slow for you to take out these enemies. However, it is going to be extremely worth it to be able to focus all your... You're basically in a few moments going to be able to buy base level 2, which will be able... We're going to be going Reaver Banshee Engineer. That is the strategy. So we're going to be getting a lot of DPS soon. And it's going to be really easy for us to handle the sentinels throughout the entire mission. So that's kind of the strategy that we're going to be doing. Keeping an eye out for these disruption emitters. You always want to make sure that you're ready for the next disruption emitter. You typically, if you time it perfectly, you can have 3 of these activated at any given point. I don't necessarily know how long each disruption emitter lasts. I believe it's something like 2.5, 3 minutes ish. But basically, you're just going to be spending a lot of your time cycling between disruption emitters on these two sentinel generators, because this is the highest threat level for the entire mission. Now you're going to destroy that back right turret, and you're going to build a shield generator as soon as we get base level 2. And then you also have a power supply cache from the Covenant that they're going to be more than happy to leave for you. Now, fighting some sentinels over there. Hopefully this freaking Forerunner turret goes away. There we go. Now, you're going to want to make sure that anytime that you go up near one of these sentinel generators or sentinel trainers, whatever you want to call them, you want to make sure that you build your turrets there and upgrade to the anti-air turret. However, it is extremely important to just build the turrets in the beginning side. Notice how when I did get base level 2, I didn't get the War Council. I did in fact get a Foundry and an Apex, because you need to be able to build to be able to train units as fast as possible. You want to make sure that you're ready when that Scarab lands, and basically we just need to make sure that we have forces ready for when the Scarab breaks through that barricade. Now we still have plenty of time. We can use the time, like right about another 3 to 5 minutes, getting our base ready, fighting these, getting the other former power tower that we have to fight through the UNSC to get to, and basically we just want to make sure that we are ready to go, getting everything in our direct area before we move on. Now I do a 1-to-1 ratio at the beginning to get my engineers and banshees trained up. Other than that, you kind of want to create, when we do get the reinforcements upgrade, you want to have 7 to 8 Reavers and 6 to 7 engineers and almost 10 banshees by the time this mission is over. So that's a good little ratio if you want to we also want to make sure that we keep at least one grunt squad alive. That way later on we can make sure that way we can get all the 400 power towers along the way. Now, once the Scarab joins the fight, you want to keep the Scarab alive. There is no bonus objective to keep the Scarab above 50% health or anything like that. You just need to make sure that it stays alive the entire time. So, easiest way to do that, which is why we get the engineers, is again, as I said, the easiest way for you to do that, just train a bunch of engineers, keep them near the Scarab at any point in time. But other than that, it's really difficult for the Scarab to actually get destroyed in this mission. You have to basically neglect it for quite a while. Specifically when we fight the human resistance a little later on, you have to neglect it at that part for it to actually get destroyed. Now, we're going to bring all of our forces to go fight the humans, and we're going to put most of our forces inside of the garrison. So the grunt squads, the pretty much any unit that is not a Reaver, we're gonna, or Banshee or an engineer, we want them away from the fight because we need to save them for later on. Now we're gonna get, so that's basically everybody trained up, and then you're not gonna get the reinforcements upgrade immediately. You're going to get all your, you're gonna tech up all your forces first. So you're gonna tech up the, you're gonna tech up your vehicle and your air, which is pretty nice since they don't really cost that much to upgrade. I think the vehicle upgrade is the most expensive one. So, gonna make sure that we have our disruption emitter, toss down one just so I don't forget. Taking out those infantry. There's gonna be a Covenant power cache right here next to a couple Reavers. You want to make sure that you get those because those are free Reavers that don't count towards your they don't count towards your population count. So it's really important that you grab them. Now making sure that we lost the Locust, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because our Banshees are going to be able to counter basically anything that they send at us, and the Reavers will counter the air that they send at us. So Banshees are going to be good against vehicles and infantry and buildings as well. However, your Reavers will be garbage against infantry, vehicles, and buildings, but they'll be pretty good against air. So we're covering all the bases with this unit composition. Wow, can't speak today. All right. Now, as you can see, Scarab's getting attacked at a certain point, and they're just going to send a bunch of sentinels. You're going to send your banshees and your reavers as well, making sure that we're sending our air units over there first. That way they can clear the area pretty quickly. Get over there, save our Scarab, and then we're going to use this grunt squad to get that 400 power tower. Now we're going to make sure that emitter gets down there. Checking on that emitter, and looking pretty good. Now the longest wait that you have to do for this entire mission is actually trying to break through that barricade. Other than that, a majority of the time you're just kind of making sure that Scarab is alive. So you're going to keep a lot of your forces nearby. Sometimes you'll see me send my forces to go do something to for a bonus objective. Like for an example, go check on go destroy one of those power caches or the supply caches. That way I can make sure that I get that objective done, which funny enough is the only one that I didn't get done. So making sure that we have all of our forces upgraded. Was hoping that front squad actually gets there. See a little bit of power supplies left over there, which is fine. I'm gonna get that level 2 upgrade now. So as you can see, it's pretty chill so long as you have those disruption emitters down. Gonna grab those guys, bring them over. Checking on that disruption emitter, gonna toss that one down. And as I said, if you time this all right, you should be able to cycle with 3 maximum at any point in time. So you could theoretically put, when we break through this barricade, you could toss another one down at that very, very front sentinel generator or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be attacking these 400 turrets here, using our engineer's Y ability to, or their special ability to, like, deflect some of the damage that's coming to our banshees. It's going to be really nice that we have some of this damage already done on these 400 turrets, because when the Scarab breaks through, it's going to be really easy for us to speed through to the next barricade, which is really important because we don't want to sit back and wait. We want to be proactive when we go into an attack like this. Now, setting in our reavers, we want to make sure that they target the, of course, the air, target those sentinels. A few of these turrets still. That Scarab is going to be super useful when we get to that. Checking on these disruption emitters. You want to make sure that every few minutes, like every few seconds actually, you want to check up on those disruption emitters. Replace any ones that you need to replace, and then just go back to what you were doing for a few. Because the last thing you want to do is fall behind on disruption emitters. Later on, when we get to the latter parts of this mission, where the Scarab gets to the, when we basically get to the end, you don't really have to worry about tossing disruption emitters to protect your base anymore. You only need to focus on tossing disruption emitters near the Scarab. That way, enemy sentinels are basically countered. Basically, they get stopped from doing damage to your Scarab. Also, it'd be really cool to toss it down on 400 turrets as well when we get to the end, because we want to make sure we're minimizing as much DPS to our forces and to our Scarab. Checking up on our abilities, checking on that disruption emitter right there. So that means that you want to kind of keep track of which one in your head is going to expire first. Trying to destroy that 400 turret here so I can build my turrets. The Scarab here, if he goes up to the 400 turret right there, he's going to be able to handle both of those turrets without you helping, and he'll get down to like 86% health. So don't necessarily worry. Just try to clear out all these forces as much as as fast as you can. That way you can go and help out your Scarab. Now, gonna build these turrets up here. Make sure that our forces are ready. Gonna build that 1-slot mini base. This mini base will get destroyed pretty quickly as soon as you build it. We want to make sure that we start getting some of those upgrades like Fortify level 1. So we're gonna build a war council on that 1-slot mini base. until we can get the 3-slot mini base after we fight the UNSC survivors just beyond this barricade that we're destroying. So I split up my forces here, sent 3 of my Reavers to go make sure that those turrets get built pretty safely. Gonna get that plasma torpedo, which is gonna increase our efficiency in the air. Looking pretty good still. Got almost all the turrets built near the landing sites. Get that war cancel built. Just need to build these 2 turrets here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to remember those grunt squads that we set to put in our garrison. We're going to grab one of each. We're going to grab one of them and then send them to go take the Foreigner Tower down there. Or up there, actually. Now, in the meantime, you're going to send your Banshees while we wait for that barricade to get destroyed. You're going to keep your Engineers here, as well as your Reavers. Basically taking out all the Sentinels here while your Scarab takes out that barricade. But for your Banshees, you're going to send them to go take out a supply cache on the over near the furthest left Sentinel generator. Checking up on our disruptor. There we go. It sucks that you lose a lot of buildings, which lowers your score. You could mitigate this by simply just not building any turrets at all. However, it's really important to build them because of you can't have your forces with you the entire time. So it's just really nice to have it with you. Now, trying to make sure that we avoid fighting those UNSC survivors or UNSC scouting party. We want to bypass them without losing much of our Banshees. Making sure we can take out these Sentinels while our turrets are still getting built. Then I'm gonna send a few of them over to go help out those 2 turrets right there. Now you don't need to really worry about much else other than taking out that, and then you can send all your forces back to the Scarab. Making sure we can get the vehicle level 3. And after we get air level 3 and vehicle level 3, that's all the tech that you need to worry about for the rest of this mission. So, pretty nice. It's really not that rough of a mission. It's just annoying because the Sentinels basically come at you non-stop. So you always have to bounce around areas of the map. Alright. So, barricade is almost down. Now, beyond, like as I said earlier, the hardest part of the beginning was all those Sentinels that you had to fight, but we easily were able to fight through that with just basic micro abilities. So, but this part where we have to fight the UNSC survivors on top of the Sentinels, this is actually the hardest part of the mission overall. The rest of the mission is fairly easy. Once you bypass this next area, it's basically a cakewalk to the end. Now, gonna send all of our forces to go help out that Scarab. We are gonna lose some of our forces, so that's gonna be okay. I'm just trying to make sure that we can get Fortify level 2. However, I realized that I really want to get air level 3, so I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to research that in time, so might as well use that time that could have been done with in the War Council actually getting something useful like air level 3. So, trying to see if we could save this this 1-slot mini base before the Scarab gets hurt, but unfortunately I thought the Scarab would actually take out those UNSC, like the Wolverine, the Nightingale, as well as the Warthog. Unfortunately, I was wrong. He's just gonna keep on going while he's taking damage. But remember, you don't have to worry about keeping the Scarab over a certain amount of health. You just need to make sure it survives the mission. So, you can level up Atriox's Bulwark. Atriox's Bulwark is really nice. Provides a little bit of invincibility while it heals to basically prevent, like while you're trying to get to the Scarab with your engineers, it still provides a little bit of health. Gonna need to get more Banshees in a few. Yeah, I'm gonna lose my 1 slot in a moment. But the cool part is that you don't, once you build it once, you don't need to build it any more than that. So it still will track with your objective, which is you have to build on all 3 of the plots. So here's the second one that we're about to destroy it with the Scarab. Trying to clear out the rest of these enemy. So the UNSC will send ODSTs to prevent you from getting, to continue preventing you from getting any further. However, the UNSC troops are very easy for you to get through. Tossing down another disruption emitter. As you can see, like, the UNSC are pretty easy to destroy here. Gonna grab a few more Banshees. Trying to see. It's annoying because they micro away into these garrisons, making it a little bit more annoying than it should be to get through all these UNSC. But they're almost wiped out. Now, you still have to wait for you have to wait one more time to get for that Scarab to get through that barricade. So during this time, you're going to build on the you're going to get the final power tower, and you're also going to build your final turrets to get both of those objectives done pretty easily. So we're going to build a War Council, a Foundry, an Apex, and then you want to actually take away the Apex and build a raid camp, because your Reavers, which I discovered actually during this playthrough, will not be able to capture any of the the power tower. So you're going to need to get jump pack brutes to be able to actually to be able to do that. So make sure that you train those build that raid camp, get 1 jump jet brute going, have all your forces kind of sit here. Not anything crazy, just have your Reavers provide long range support. And you'll see here that I tried to see what would happen if I had 1 Reaver here try to take this 400 tower. Unfortunately, as I said, you aren't able to. You have to build a raid camp for it to happen. But I initially thought, like, oh, maybe I just need one that's not in combat. So, but again, I was wrong. So you're going to want to make sure that you build that raid camp. Now, as you sit here, you're going to build those 2 turrets. You're going to have all your forces next to those 2 turrets. And then from there, we will basically just get both of these objectives done, and then it's over. Now, I think I'm going to be able to get Fortify level 2 here. And yeah, this is where I say, okay, fine, I need a raid camp. Built a harvester on accident there. There we go. Was trying to find the raid camp there. Try to see if we can get these guys back to base. But notice, like, it's pretty chill. Like, they're not attacking the Scarab anymore. They're kind of just vibing with you. My base, though, was getting hit. I wasn't paying attention to the disruption emitters. So I'm going to toss one of these down, use my Banshees to build 2 more turrets, because it'll be... I know my base is still safe. Going to build those jump pack brutes. Going to get 1... whoops. Was meaning to get an Apex here. I think I saw that turret get destroyed, but we already got the objective done for it, so it doesn't matter. All we have to do is keep the jump pack brutes alive just long enough for them to capture that power tower, and then that's it. So they'll be able to jump pretty far too. Use their special ability to get them over to the tower. Now that the Scarab is busted through, we're gonna be able to get the final outpost, or the final 2 slot mini base around the map, and then we're also going to be able to kind of finish this mission up, tie it with a bow, and move on to mission number 2. This mission is, as I said, not too awful. It just requires a little bit of macro, a little bit of micro, and it's just annoying with how many sentinels that you're fighting most of the time. Gonna get our jump pack brutes out of there, and then they're gonna help fight air units, which is kind of funny because they're ground units. Anyways, you're like, for the rest of this mission though, you're gonna be fighting lots more sentinels. Gonna get that Banshee here. I was seeing apparently that I forgot that disruption emitter as well. However, it's gonna be okay because in a few moments they're gonna turn all their focus onto us, trying to get to the those Forerunner towers at the very end. So we're almost there. You could move your Reavers up early on. So I said, basically what I mean is that you can go turn on the light bridge, go activate the light bridge. While you're doing that, though, you want to upgrade all your you basically want to upgrade all your turrets to anti-air turrets. That way, you can try to fight off a lot of those sentinels while you're trying to get to the end. Because I think you could actually do the end part faster, based on how fast you destroy those Forerunner towers. But there you go. Expand to all the base plots, leaving just the final objective, which is find all those supply caches. But again, this is the only one that I wasn't able to do for this one. Alright, moving the forces up to the light bridge. Now, as soon as you get control over, once you cross, you're going to immediately send your Banshees to go destroy the Forerunner towers, the Forerunner turrets, I mean, around the barricade. Tossing down Bulwark. Going to use a disruption emitter right here. And basically, as I said, you're going to send all your forces across. You have quite a bit of forces. You have all your engineers as well as your Banshees, of which you're going to send around that barricade, as you see here. Voridus is going to be trying to activate everything, so we just need to defend him as well as the Scarab. But this right here, super, like, kind of what you've been doing the entire time. They're just going to send a lot more sentinels at you. You're going to have the entire map, no fog of war anymore. You're just going to get all the turrets up. You're going to send your Banshees around. And then you're also going to bring your engineers. That way you can mitigate some of that damage. Trying to see if there's any more that I can build. But yeah. So this is when I brought all my Reavers up. All my Banshees coming around. Going to toss down Rain of Fire on these turrets. Banshees will come around as well with the engineers. So all the Banshees. Was trying to find all my engineers. So there we go. Trying to select everybody. Trying to move these jump pack. Probably could have just used the hotkey to select all air units, but it's okay. Okay. So now that we have all of our air going to go take out those 400 towers, we're just going to use our Reavers and apparently our Jump Jet Brutes to defend the Scarab. Everything else is just going to sit here, try to get through this as fast as we can. Unfortunately, one UNSC Wolverine is destroying one of my 2-slot mini bases, or my 3-slot mini base. As you saw there, I was like, no point in doing that. So I'm going to toss down that disruption emitter on those sentinels. That way I can defend. That way I can build those turrets and then finish them off. Build that turret. Pretty much cakewalk. All right, now that we've finished off those two 400 turrets, we're gonna move up. Gonna use our special ability for our engineer to be able to mitigate some of the damage. Turret's almost built. Making sure everything else is nice. Might as well build a couple more turrets. I'm kind of rolling in the supplies right now. A little bit of anti-air turrets. Taking a peek, seeing what's going on around here. Wish that they would have given us turrets at our stronghold, but it's fine. All right, final turret to take down, and then once this turret gets destroyed, you go into a cutscene where we fight some retriever sentinels. After that, we just do a small puzzle, super easy to solve it, and then that's it for the mission.
The sentinels are sending in
Trying to see if I can get this Wolverine.
I must be close to completely
we go.
shutting them down. We are approaching high charity now.
We'll get that anti-air.
Pavium. I hope your pack is ready to transport the riches we find nearby.
Almost there.
Stay alert. There is a
So when Pavium says that there's a massive sentinel wave near your heading your way, basically that's when the retriever sentinels will show up, and then you'll have a brief moment in time to prevent your scare from getting destroyed by the 2 sentinels by going over to this puzzle and just solving it. So you're just going to do exactly what I do. I hit the inner one once, middle one twice, outer ring, inner ring, middle ring, outer ring, inner. So you just kind of keep turning them until they lock in. And then after that, once you see that glow, that's basically it. You've protected the scarab. All your forces should be still alive, but you're scared, feeling pretty sad right now. But other than that, the only objective that we didn't complete was getting all the supply caches around the map. They're pretty well hidden in some cases. I think towards the end, you could have sent like maybe a couple banshees out to go take all those ones out. You could have gotten a little bit better on your score if you wanted to do it that way. However, we ended up still getting a gold on this one. We're about to see the scoreboard in a few moments, but yeah, that's basically it for what could go wrong on legendary difficulty. As you can see here, we got that gold medal. We only one objective we didn't get done, and we also missed out on a campaign log. But there you go. That is basically everything that you need to do to get that gold medal. We also only did this in 34 minutes. We could have done this faster. You could really speed run this one if you want to. But that's it for me, guys. If you guys liked the video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys next time for the second mission. Thank you guys for watching.
Wow,